Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are live with the 8th session of commentary on Dua Arafah of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We have reached a very beautiful and emotional part of the dua. Today's part is a little bit different to the discussions we've had so far. We are going to enter a new stage in the dua, and I hope that inshallah we can benefit in the same way that we benefited from the previous parts of the discussion. If you remember, the dua started with Imam Hussein talking to God. Imam said, Alhamdulillah alladhi laysa liqada'ihi dafi'. Imam Hussein started the dua by describing God. Oh God, you are like this. And then Imam Hussein said, okay, now this God showed so much love to me. So the story of Dua Arafah began with God, and then it went to a stage in which Imam Hussein narrated all the things God has done for us, all the things that God has, all the ways in which God has taken care of us from the time before we were born, all the way, the ways God spoke to us, all the discussions we had. If you remember, we had a discussion that you are born before you were even, you were loved before you were even born, right? وَلَمْ أَكُنْ شَيْئًا مَذْكُورًا, Imam Hussein said. And then we had this idea that even our mistakes do not stop God from loving us. So we had all these discussions, a very intimate, beautiful, loving communication between God and Imam Hussein. Now this point onwards, the discussions becomes a little bit emotional. How so? If you remember from previous session, Imam Hussein started asking for certain things, right? So we finished the part in which it was only a beautiful story. Oh God, you've done this to me, you've done that for me, you took care of me like this. And the thanking part as well. Do you remember the session we discussed? Imam Hussein said, every cell of my body, with every organ, God, I see your blessings right now, right? وَأَنَا أَشْهَدُ يَا إِلَهِ. Very real, beautiful experience. And then what happened is Imam Hussein started asking for things. Allahumma ij'al ghinaya fi nafsi. Right? Oh God, help me be self-sufficient through you. Right? I don't want to depend on external things to be okay. I want to be able to rely on me. And today we'll read the rest of this, and you will see what is actually going to happen. The story is changing. Like if this was a movie, this is a scene in which, there were two beloved talking very intimately. Imam Hussein had gone to God, and when you're next to the beloved, everything feels great, right? Imagine, for example, a person who was not allowed to go to his beloved. Life was very difficult. He sneaks out, goes to his beloved. They're talking, everything is fine. When you're with the beloved, all the worries are out of the window, right? Like you don't think about anything, about your job, about deadlines, about this, that, nothing. Everything feels fine, right? And we had that session that we discussed about Imam Hussein saying, God, I look around and I see so much blessing. Everything is great, right? But now, how come Imam Hussein is starting to ask for certain things? Well, now is the moment that the meeting is about to finish, right? Imagine you're next to the beloved, everything's great, but the moment of saying goodbye is coming close. And as the goodbye moment, the farewell moment gets closer, now suddenly you realize, oh, I have to go back among other people, right? Oh, all the worries are going to start again, right? It was great, everything is great, but now I'm not going to have like you directly like this. Of course, Imam Hussein always had God, but this was a, one-on-one moment between Imam Hussein and God, There's this beautiful story about one of our imams, that when they arrest the imam and they put him in prison, he says, oh God, thank you so much. Finally, I get some time now free from the annoyance of people just to talk to you one-on-one, right? So there's a difference between being free from the problems of the world and talking to the beloved one-on-one, or of course being with God, but then among people as well. That's a whole different story. Now Imam Hussein has to go back to normal life. And we know what is ahead, right? In this dua, you will see that there are a lot of sentences which seem to be referring to what's going to happen in Karbala. Allah will read to them, right? It's as if Imam Hussein's intimate meeting with God is now about to be over. Imam Hussein is saying, okay, I have to go back among people who are going to do what we know to me, people who are going to do that to my family, to my companions. They're going to kill me. I'm going to go towards them, God, right? So now that I'm with you, I want to say a few things that when I'm there, you'll take care of me. It's very beautiful. So this is, if it was a movie, this is the scene we are in right now, right? The beloved is going to leave the Imam is going to leave the beloved, go back among people, and that's why, again, all the issues are going to start. So, yesterday we said, Allahumma ij'al ghinaya fi nafsi. Oh God, make me self-sufficient. I don't want to rely on external things. Now Imam continues with this dua. وَالْيَقِينَ فِي قَلْبِي وَالْإِخْلَاصَ فِي عَمَلِي. Oh God, give me conviction, right? Give me conviction. I want my heart to be sure. I saw your hand, your hidden hand behind everything in this world. I want to keep this with me, this conviction. Now that I'm going to go among people, I very much need this. وَالْإِخْلَاصَ فِي عَمَلِي. It's very beautiful, and I want my actions to be pure. And it's very interesting, a point for us here now, that ikhlas, sincere action, comes after yaqina fi qalbi. So we can only be sincere in our actions when our heart has the conviction, when our heart has seen the realities of the world. As long as we don't see God behind everything, as long as we haven't seen the real essence of this world, the batin of this world, we can't completely be sincere, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Once conviction comes, then the natural result of that is ikhlas. The Arafah, my dear friends, the Arafah saying that they've had moments as a result of their actions. I always told you, let us have a kind of religiosity that is after real experiences of God, real experiences of the divine. Because I said there are different types of religiosity. Some people do practice worship, religion, everything. They're in it for thawab. And these people, which unfortunately is the majority of us, after 30 years, 40 years, they haven't seen anything. They haven't tasted anything. They say Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, all of this. But if you tell them, have you had any real experience? Have you tasted any sweetness of talking to God? You say no, right? But there's another kind of experience, a religiosity, which is not after thawab. It's after real experiences. It says, if I sing Allahu Akbar, I want to see God. Imam Ali said, I never worship a God I haven't seen. In that, if we want to follow that logic, it means that most of us, we shouldn't be worshiping because we've never seen God. The Arif says you can see God. Our Arafah, they send their books, they say, we've had experiences and we suddenly saw, it's as if this world, the appearance of it in which, everything seems to be happening without God, right? You remember the example of calligraphy? Either the pen is writing or the hand is moving the pen or the person. They said we've had moments in which the appearance of the world evaporated in front of us. We went to a different state of consciousness and we saw the batin of this world, the hidden forces. Wow. Once you see that, yaqina fi qalbi, then ikhlasa fi amali. After that, it's very easy to be sincere, right? Once you see that Sheikh Jawad evaporated right in front of your eyes and you saw the hidden forces behind it, you saw God's hand everywhere, you saw God everywhere, then it's so easy that when you're praying, you only pray for God. It becomes so easy to be sincere, do only things for God, because you see there's no one else other than God. Imam Hussein later on in Dua Arafah we read, Imam Hussein says, oh God, I want to see you in everything. So slowly, you will find God within everything. Right now, we only look for God in the mosque or Husseiniya or in the Quran. But slowly, Imam Hussein says, as part of our spiritual journey, we see God in everything. And once you see God in everything, then everyone else is gone. There is only God left. There's nothing else. And at that stage, Ikhlas is the only thing you can do. When there's only God, you'll only do things for God because there's no one else there. So وَالْيَقِينَ فِي قَلْبِي وَالْإِخْلَاصَ فِي عَمَلِي. And then Imam says, وَاجْعَلْ نُورَ فِي بَصَرِي. Again, نُورَ فِي بَصَرِي. I want to have this real insight, this vision. Imam says, put light into my vision. What does that mean? It means I want to look at the world and see these things. You know, this experience, as I said, this is the type of religion we want. Not religion for sawab. Forget about that. Religion for experiences. We want to see things. We want to experience things, taste things. وَالْبَصِيرَةَ فِي دِينِي. I don't want just any religion. No, I want a religion that gives insights, that has visions. I want visions, experiences. وَمَتَّعْنِي بِجَوَارِحِي. And enable me to benefit from my body that I've been given. And then وَاجْعَلْ سَمْعِي وَبَصَرِي الْوَارِثِينَ مِنِّي. And enable my insight, my vision and hearing to be my inheritors, which has been interpreted in so many different ways. I don't have time. I won't go that much into it. But it probably means that so that, you know, I benefit from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. Some people say that it could mean that Al-Warithina minni, may my vision and my hearing be inheritors from me. It means maybe it means that may they be in the control of my higher self. So they only see what I want them to see, and they only hear what I want them to hear, in the control of my higher self. And some people say that as a result of that, slowly, what happens is that a new vision and a new hearing is created for a person. You know, we have this hadith from the Prophet that if only you lived well, if only you took care of the way you live, you weren't only after thawab. Nah, forget about that. If you were real, then Prophet says you could see what I saw and you could hear what I hear, right? The Prophet received revelation, saw the realities of the world, could, you know, hear things, see things. The Prophet said every single one of you can see and hear as well. If only you live well. This is why I always said, let's move away from a religion that only wants to give you sawab to a religion that Prophet says it guarantees you can see the realities of the world. So some of the Arafah saying that when we come to the world, that we've been given a physical body. We've got eyes, we've got ears, this beautiful mouth we have. And this, the way it grows, it's very easy, right? You just eat food, you're getting the sun, vitamin D comes, you just get some sleep, this physical body grows. But in addition to the physical body, they say you have another kind of body, the spiritual body, let's call it. In order for that one to grow, you need to do certain things, right? So for example, now there are so many realities in the world we're not seeing. For these, we need that spiritual eye, if we can call it. There are so many things prophets saying are happening. We're not hearing them. We need the spiritual ear. And for these to grow, for the spiritual body to grow, we need to be living well, acting well. And that's in our hand, okay? And inshallah, one session we'll talk about that more. And then وَانْصُرْنِي عَلَى مَنْ ظَلَمَنِي. Now, see, the Imam is going to leave. So as I said, till previous session, it was intimate discussion between God and Imam Hussein, and there was not one single worry there. If you remember in the first few sessions, God, you're loving me, you're taking care of me. But now that the dua is about to finish, Imam is leaving this meeting. Imam is saying, God, I'm going to go back among people. There are some there who have bad intentions to harm me, right? So don't leave me during that time. But now look how beautiful it is. Imam is not like, I want them to get hurt or anything. No, the way Imam prays is very beautiful for us to learn when we will read it. خب اللهم اكشف كربتي واستر عورتي واغفر لي خطيئتي, etc., etc. Imam is asking for things. And then Imam also again says, God, I know. I mean, it's very beautiful. Imam again starts thanking God as if to say that I'm asking these things for you, but there's really no need because you've been taking care of me even when I didn't ask you for anything, right? So it's very beautiful. We have to know that through all of this, Imam is also teaching us. Imam starts asking for a few things and then starts thanking God, which is telling us, Allah, you are asking, but this is mainly for you. In the asking, we grow. We don't get closer to what we want. God will already give us. Just in the asking, we establish a communication with God, which is just so heartwarming. Why don't you want to talk to the beloved? Right? And it's very interesting. Imam asked a few things for God and then starts thanking him. He says, you know what? Even when I wasn't even there, you did this for me, you did that for me, you took care of me, you did this, you did that, right? Reminding us that our prayer is not so that God takes care of us. God's going to take care of us anyway. Even in the dua of month of Rajab, we say, oh God, who gives to the one who asks him, and oh God, who gives to the one who don't ask him. What does that tell you? Whether you ask God or not, he's going to give you. So why do we ask? Don't you want to talk to the beloved? Right? That's the whole point of dua, talking to the beloved. And if God is not yet the beloved, then that's the issue we need to work with. If only these people, I have to tell you something secretly, so some people who are a little bit annoying don't hear, although I love them so much. I don't know why there are some people who just can't accept that God is loving. Imam Hussein in Dua Arafah comes and shouts that God is loving. God loves you. Even if you do bad, God still loves you. But then there are some people who want to believe in a scary God, a God who punishes, a God who does it. Obviously that God cannot be a beloved. But between you and me, we want to believe in Imam Hussein's God, not those people's God, right? Imam Hussein's God is loving. And then it can become beloved. Okay, back to the dua. So Imam thanks God and then starts another series of requests, which is very educating for us. I can say that these are mainly spiritual rules that we need to learn, okay? So Imam says, Ya Ilahi, Allah Imam again says, God, وأعني على بوائق الدهور وصروف الليالي والأيام ونجني من أحوال الدنيا وكربات الآخرة. So it's very beautiful. It says, God, I'm going to leave now, and it's as if Imam knew what's about to happen to him, what's awaiting him in Karbala. Imam doesn't say, God, I want the problems to go away, right? Because as you know, the problems are not the result of, God doesn't want the problem either. It's the people who are choosing those things, right? It's not God who told Shemr what to do, or Omar bin Sa'd. So as long as there are naughty people, bad things are going to happen. The external world, do you remember we had this discussion yesterday? The external world is not completely in our hands. Part of it is in my hand, part of it is in your hand, part of it is in other people's hand. The external world, its current situation, is the result of the sum of all of our actions. You, me, all the people in the world, we have put the world in this current situation. And God respects humanity so much, He says, I've left it to you, you guys. It's up to you. You fix it. Which is why a lot of spiritual teachers believe if humanity decided to fix the world tomorrow, so that no one had any poverty, anything, in one day we could end all the problems in the world. In one day, if we all collectively decided. One day. But we don't want. We don't want. Because there are in it gains for us, right? We've all got used to this way of living, and there are some who are greedy, of course. So Imam says the external world, people have made it this mess. But for me, as long as within myself I am connected to God, then I can be okay in any situation, which is very important because Imam said it in Dua Arafah and then proved it in Ashura. He proved it that no matter what happened to him, what they did to him, as long as he had God, which was the whole time, he was fine. And you see that the reporters say on the day of Ashura, as the day went on, Imam Hussein, it's as if it was brighter and brighter. You could see the shaf on his face. It's not that he was not in pain because of what was happening, but he was also so strong. So it's very beautiful that Imam now doesn't say, God, remove my problems. He says, God, give me the strength, right? وَأَعِنِّي, help me, be my strength. in the calamities of life, in the ups and downs, in situations which can be scary if I don't have you. So in all of these times, be with me, which are beautiful things for us as well to ask God. Oh God, be there for us, right? The ups and downs of life, the stressful events, there are so many things we're scared of. Help us in all of this. Be there for us, be in our heart. And then Imam Hussein says, if you are in my heart, nothing can scare me. Which again, he showed. Lady Zainab showed that. وَمَا رَأَيْتُ إِلَّا جَمِيلًا. And these are the things we should be asking God, you know? Oh God, be there for me in the events which scare me. And then there's this part, where was it? There was this line, فَكْفَنِي Allahumma ma akhafu fakfini. You know, there are so many things which are scary. If you're not there with me, fakfini, be there for me, right? And if you're there for me, that's enough. That's enough. With you, I can take on any challenge, which just shows you how strong you can be. Do you remember? Self-sufficiency through God. This is it. This is where we can get. We can get to a place that no matter what the situation in our life is, we are perfect. You're fine. We're strong. This is what, inshallah, we need to be asking God. And then Imam says a few things which is just a kind of, you know, especially thinking about it on these days, which are, we're in Muharram, just really breaks the heart. But it's this. Imam says, وَفِي سَفَرِي فَاحْفَظْنِي. In my journey, be there for me, right? And we can think of Imam's journey to Karbala. It says, فَاحْفَظْنِي, be there for me, protect me. وَفِي أَهْلِي وَمَالِي فَاخْلُفْنِي. And in my, for my family, take care of my family after me. It's as if Imam knew that he's going to leave his family behind, right? وَفِي أَهْلِي وَمَالِي فَاخْلُفْنِي. I know I have to go, take care of them for me. وفي نفسي وظلني وفي أعين الناس فعظمني ومن شر الجن والإنس فسلمني, etc., etc. Imam continues, وإلى غيرك فلا تكلني. And do not leave me to anyone other than yourself. And inshallah, we will continue tomorrow from this phrase. Just a quick review of what happened today and in Dua Arafah so far. So we started the dua by Imam Hussein just talking to God. As if, always look at it this way. Imam's gone to the beloved and is so excited. It just only talks about the beloved. God, you're this, you're that. Alhamdulillah, alladhi laysa liqada'ihi dafi. And then wala kasunihi sun usai jawadun wasi. It says, God, you're like this. And then he says, God, you've done this for me, you've done that for me. You took care of me before I was even born. You made my parents loving to me. You gave me food. You gave me this. You showed love to me before I was even on this world, etc., etc. Even when I made mistakes, you didn't leave me. And God, all my وَلَمْ يَمْنَعْكَ جَهْلِي وَجُرْأَتِي. And then God, I made all those mistakes. You never stopped loving me, etc. You talked to me directly to my heart. You did all of this to me. That was all of this. And then as the dua is about to finish and Imam is going to go back to people away from this direct dua, he says, God, now I'm going to go back to people. They're going to be cruel. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be all of this. So this beautiful communication that we had, can you please secure this in my heart so that even when I'm among them, even when they're throwing the swords at me, if I have you here, I'm going to be fine. And I'm going to be strong. So take care of me. Be here, basically. So this is the goodbye moment. The goodbye moment. And of course, this is a short goodbye. Because in a short time, Mom went back to God. And that's why I always say we have to very much remember this. And they say, as the day of Ashura went on, despite all the pain on Imam Hussein's heart, he had a joy. The joy of going to meet the beloved. So this was the dua so far. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. This will be available on Instagram, IGTV, and inshallah in a few hours on YouTube. As always, take care of yourselves, and I hope you enjoyed this session on commentary on Dua Arafah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.